All right, so welcome to the November. It's November meeting of the FairTV Commission, and I will open with the Pledge of Allegiance, which goes as follows: I pledge allegiance to the United States, to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Paula, would you be willing to take notes on this one?
Absolutely.
And we'll welcome. We can wait until everybody's here to do an intro. But if there's anything you want to say, first meeting, we're glad to have you here.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it twice. I think it'd be terrible if I just pretended to be anonymous for the next month until everyone else was back. So yeah, Will Ferguson, good to meet you guys. And I work in the advertising industry. I've been in it for about 10, 15 years now on the media side of things. So pretty familiar with all things media and related, pretty familiar with TV things in general. And so moved to Fairfield in early 2020 and have been quite happy with our time here in the town, and thought as I finished up grad school, it'd be great to fill that time with giving back to the town any way I can. I'm former military, done history of community service and time in the city on county committees and so on and so forth. So I figured this would be a great opportunity. The opportunity to do the FairTV Commission popped up. Seems like a congruent match with my professional skills. So I'm excited to hopefully lend some support.
Great. Welcome.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll also give a shout out to the town for helping us resolve our Zoom issue, which we're all back up and running. Last month, we weren't able to record the meeting because we couldn't log in, but we're here. So that's fantastic. Let's see. So no real officers reports on my end other than that. Secretary is not here. But I would, in fact, entertain a motion to approve last month's minutes.
A second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that passes. Fantastic. So Jerry shared the manager's report. I went through it. It's not quite the same when he doesn't give us the rundown on it, but it sounds like everything is going as you'd expect, getting the invoices paid. And I think he mentioned at the end of the report, the virtual platform, which is sort of this ongoing issue of how meetings will be recorded and shared with folks in Fairfield. And it's sort of an ongoing discussion that Jerry has been sort of keeping us informed about. And he said there's just not much of an update right now. And I guess that may continue to be a sort of a thing as we get into the holidays. So we'll push that back. From old business, I guess, we have that SHU story. I know that Paul, you requested the video. Was there anything else on that?
So where we left it was Jerry and I spoke via email after our last month's meeting, and it didn't make sense for me to be the middle person anymore. It made sense to make sure that Jerry was connected with Greg, because he was the one that was going to need to get the video and the format. And so I just told him that I would reach out to Greg and let him know that Jerry would be reaching out and that we were hoping to get the B-roll because we were thinking about taking the story over. As what's happened many times in the past, I did not hear back from Greg, but that's not surprising. And I also did not hear back from Jerry. So I don't know if Jerry reached out to Greg and got any traction there, or didn't try, or it's in process. I haven't gotten an update from Jerry on it.
And Will, and for anybody who watches the recording, this is a sort of a story that about the is the right word, regional 911 center that incorporates Westport and Fairfield. Some students at Sacred Heart went and shot video there. and we're going to produce a story that might have aired on Fair TV, but that didn't happen. And it sort of stalled out. So it's another ongoing project. When I was in college, I was in a comedy troupe, and there was this every time after you would have a show, and then the next week you would have a meeting, and it would be like, okay, what skits do we have? We're going to work on. And hand-to-hand combat was always written as like, we're got to get hand-to-hand combat done. And it was apparently one that had been for years, had been passed down as like this never gets done thing. And it kind of reminds me of that. So but maybe it'll happen sometime. Is there any other unfinished business that we need to talk about? One thing I imagine that we'll bring up probably at the next meeting when we have everybody on board is elections, because we've lost our chairman, and we need to sort of figure out who's going to do what going forward. Any other old business or unfinished business that to bring up? No. Any new business? No. So it's a very streamlined meeting tonight. I'm trying to think. There was one other issue that I think we discussed at the last meeting. Oh, that's right. So we're jumping out of order here, but that was the discussion about the idea of expanding sort of the kind of things that Fair TV can do to sort of, broaden our scope, but that would require changing the charter. That is another thing that if it was on me, I may have dropped the ball there, but I don't know of anything that's happened on that since last month, but can put that down on my to-do list for now to see sort of where that stands, and if there's somebody, in the Board of Selectmen or whatever who has a point of view on that that we can connect with. But just sort of for the background there, that's been another kind of a conversation about, beyond meetings and the occasional parade. There've always been talk about having other things that Fair TV might produce and distribute. Sure. There are restrictions, however, due to like anything that could be possibly interpreted as partisan doesn't happen. And so just have talked as commissioners about, okay, what kind of things could we do and what would be required to make it allowable for us to do that. So something to think about between now and next month. Yeah, I don't have anything else. Anyone else have anything no, I guess that means we're being very efficient. Well, with that in mind, I would, I guess, entertain a motion to close the meeting. Yeah, unless I'm missing something. I don't think so. No?
I'll second it.
All right. Well, all in favor? Aye. And so that is unanimous.